rooms. Now, again, the health unit did not specifically comment on this facility here in Lakeshore. Behind me is Xanadu Fitness Club, or clarify whether or not moving equipment outside of the gym changes any parameters around that. The gym here also says they did not consult with the health unit before reopening, but again, they did say they consulted with Lakeshore bylaw and the OPP in this community before they reopened, and the health unit went on to say that any gym that is in violation of the provincial order can face a fine.
Something we'll be keeping an eye on here. Thanks for this, Jason. Ontario Tourism Minister Lisa MacLeod was in Windsor today announcing more than $500,000 in investment for the region's tourism sector. Now, more than half of that will go toward marketing. The rest, it's going to cover the losses for 5 festivals canceled because of the COVID-19 pandemic: Blues Fest, WIF, the Mill Street Market, Island Unplugged, and Hogs for Hospice. Officials say that the tourism sector has been the hardest hit because of COVID-19.
We're dealing with a triple threat. That's the healthcare crisis, the economic crisis, and of course the social crisis of consumer behaviors have been so changed over the past 4 months that there really still are a lot of inhibitions. So the marketing money and the festival funding money today is important to start to talk about reconnecting people in the Windsor-Essex area and all of southwestern Ontario back into their community with others, and supporting those local cultural and tourism attractions in a very safe way.
A very safe way. This money is meant to help festival organizers get the word out about the safety measures that they're taking, so people aren't worried about attending public events when they do continue. Canada's chief public health officer said today the transmission of COVID-19 is largely under control in the country, but Theresa Tam has a warning.
The virus has not disappeared, and resurgence can happen anytime or at any place. Until there is a vaccine or effective treatment, we need to continue to live with COVID-19 by balancing the risks of spread of COVID-19 with the unintended social and health consequences of restrictive public health measures. So you should ask yourself, if you do test positive, consider that the fewer people that you have contact with, the quicker and easier it will be for public health to trace them all down and interrupt chains of transmission to keep the spread of COVID-19 under control. Thank you.
Now, Tam and her colleagues are cutting back on the number of briefings that they hold each week. She says that she's been working about 20 hours a day during the pandemic. 5 more people have tested positive for COVID-19 in an outbreak linked to a nail salon in Kingston. Local health officials say that there are now 27 confirmed cases in this outbreak, including 6 staff members and 6 clients. Kingston's mayor says social distancing and best hygiene practices were not being followed at the salon.
We've gone through a couple of months with hardly any cases at all, and understand that, you know what, we have to be careful, we have to stay vigilant, that we're living with this virus, it's not going to go away, and as long as we do that, then we'll be in good shape.
Patterson says if there are more cases linked to nail salons, officials might order all the salons in the city to shut down. Before this outbreak, the Eastern Ontario city had 63 confirmed cases, including just 2 in May. Prosecution in the case involving the death of George Floyd will start in March. A Minneapolis judge today decided that at least one of the former police officers charged in the death will stand trial at that time, but he said it remains to be seen if all 4 of the men will be tried together. Now, today was the second pre-trial hearing for the men. They were fired from their job after Floyd, an African-American, died on May 25th. Derek Chauvin is facing second-degree murder and 2 other charges. The other 3 officers are charged with aiding and abetting. Floyd died after an officer pressed a knee against his neck for more than 8 minutes. Floyd was handcuffed and lying on the ground at the time, and that death sparked protests around the world. A live look outside here at the city, looking mighty beautiful today. Certainly a different scene over the weekend, but what will it look like the rest of the week? We've got Colette Kennedy to help us figure that out. She's next.
It's unbelievable. The response is phenomenal. We're actually having many sites contacting us saying, we need more boxes, we need more crates, we need more pallets. So it's a good problem to have.
Certainly was. Signs for the June 27th miracle plastered through streets in Windsor, Essex for weeks now. More than 10,000 volunteers are estimated to have gone door to door, picking up food donations off porches and bringing them to the WFCU Center and other drop-off points. It saw center ice completely packed with crates filled with donations. This year's supplies at the local food banks have diminished quickly because of this pandemic. The number of people out of work, well, it's been rising. The food drive, organizers said, was for anyone in need. And the food banks say they'll make sure whoever needs the food gets it. And joining us now for a live look at the weather is Colette Kennedy. Colette, we had a wild weekend. On Friday, I heard booms like I've never heard before from a thunderstorm in Windsor. And then, of course, Saturday, you got the tornado warning. Sunday was delightful, though, so that was okay.
Yeah, so much active weather. That's right, all the energy in the atmosphere. And now I have this awkward task of saying that, hey, enjoy the, what is the cool air of the next couple of days. And I find that awkward because it's upper 20s, and that's kind of weird that that's cool, but it is because what's coming is 30s, and then, that's just how it's going to go. We're getting into July, folks, and that's just how it goes. So here we are, 28 degrees right now. This is what's going to be the enjoyable for those who like it a little cooler, and 27 in Chatham, Kent, Sarnia, just at 24. Humidex values, these are reasonable for what we're going to be seeing too. So we've got low 30s for the moment. And the other thing I'm going to be telling you is that we're really going to be seeing primarily drier conditions. I know that might be welcome in some cases, not everywhere, where we certainly will be needing some of the rain, that there are certain places that need that. But what we're seeing in terms of the active weather, not a lot. So this is taking you forward towards Tuesday. Some isolated showers kind of showing up. But other than that, even if we look ahead, as I look at Canada Day, we have a risk of some isolated showers, and that's really it. A little further towards the east, there's a chance of more widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms, so kind of the odd things sort of popping up, but not a lot of activity. There's a lot of sunshine, there's a lot of heat building in. One day where we get a little more cloud cover through the week, but the humidity values will start going up too. You're going to see this in the 5-day forecast here in a moment, but really for tonight, what we get are clearer skies. Those temperatures, those lows are closer to 20 degrees. The average low would be more around 16. And for tomorrow, for the high temperature, so this is the cooler day of the week today and tomorrow for Tuesday. So the highs just kind of getting close to 30, but around 29 degrees, a little bit higher than Sierras. There's a chance for an isolated storm towards Sarnia, a chance towards London, but back here we'll probably stay on the drier side. And then this is what I'm looking at for Canada Day, 30 degrees for us. Thursday, though, we're talking 32. We're looking at 34 for Friday, Saturday, 33 as we go towards the weekend. So those temperatures getting into the lower 30s, Chris, getting close to the mid 30s for the daytime highs, but we're looking at those humidex values getting into the upper 30s there. So the humidity is going to be building as well.
That's not bad. And especially that Canada Day. That's a nice little time. I think some families are going to be able to enjoy that.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just kind of keeping an eye on things. There'll be a few areas where we're going to see some downpours, but they're going to be pretty highly isolated.
Just, the umbrella, keep it around, I guess. Is that the idea?
Yeah, just keep an idea and a look at what's going on so you don't get disappointed.
Just the best advice,
you know what I mean? You don't want the picnic just kind of destroyed.
No, just in and out. I love it. Thanks for this, Colette.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, coming up after the break, a milestone moment for many is graduation, and it looked a lot different this year. We'll take a look at how it looked in Windsor, Essex next. Canada's two biggest airlines are about to relax onboard physical distancing measures. That's caused concern among travelers and health officials. CBC's Ashley Burke has more.
And I'm just going to take your temperature, if you don't mind.
Flying during a pandemic comes with a host of new safety measures, but one is about to end, blocking off middle seats.
We both feel pretty uneasy about it.
Sarah Antonio and her husband booked a 6-hour flight from Toronto to Vancouver. It's for a crucial business trip next month. They only booked it because WestJet's website assured them the middle seat would be empty.
So we took some comfort in this option, and seeing that me and my husband are from the same household, we thought, oh, that's great. We're just going to have a row to ourselves. I'll take the window, you take the aisle, and we'll have a whole row.
But WestJet and Air Canada announced Friday that they're ending the practice on July 1st, a move in line with other airlines, including Flair. The carriers say new cleaning protocols, air filtration systems, mandatory mask wearing, and temperature checks make the risk of transmitting COVID-19 low. Well, the cost of blocking off middle seats is high, but it's a move that could backfire with customers.
For some passengers, it is a big deal, and they will, in fact, move their travel arrangements to other airlines that do offer that middle seat, or will delay their travel.
Transport Canada has recommended that airlines physically distance when possible to prevent the spread of COVID-19, but it's not mandatory.
You must wear the face mask at all times during the boarding process.
Doctors say even though it is safer to fly now, it isn't risk-free.
We now know that being near somebody for longer periods of time, that increases your risk, even in an office setting, for example. So therefore, the shorter flights, less risky, whereas the longer flights, you may have a chance of breathing in the virus.
Air Canada says the adjacent seat policy was meant to be a temporary measure, and like WestJet, it's counting on its new protocols to keep passengers safe. Meanwhile, many customers are still angry that they haven't been refunded for flights canceled due to COVID-19. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
Well, we've just witnessed the end of a pretty strange school year, especially for those graduating in 2020. Some schools celebrated with drive-by events and lawn signs, but there was a dad in Windsor, Essex, that wanted to make sure his 17-year-old twin daughters got to walk across the stage when they picked up their diplomas.
Do this one, Dad, but then they got here and they're like, you know what? It's been a lot of fun. More emotional than I thought it was going to be. There's been a lot of happy tears. It's been really fun. When we reached out on social media, friends of friends of friends started sharing it and posting it all over the place. And so when it filled up, we only had a few family and friends that we knew were coming, and the rest of them are just they're strangers to us.
This is pretty great considering the circumstances. And I didn't want to do it at first, and then we got here and I was like, okay, this seems pretty fun. So it was nice to be able to walk across the stage and actually get the opportunity to just get handed a diploma, because I mean, we worked 14 years and then it all got taken away. So this was something that we got to do, which is really nice, and it's really sweet that they did that.
It was very different from what I expected, because obviously I expected to graduate with 120 people, but I'm here with 3 of my friends, or 2 of my friends, counting me 3. So yeah, it's very different from what I was expecting, but I'm happy with it.
I'm so happy that somebody did this for them this year, that they could just get the feeling. It's more for us, because our kids didn't want to do it, but I wanted them to do it, so they did it for us. And I was just very proud to watch her walk across and just have that moment where she can say, I did it. She did it. It was proud and sad and happy.
What a moment, what a memory. Before we end, we want to leave you with some more video from the June 27th miracle. And if you want any more details on how that went, visit our website, cbc.ca/Windsor.